WVIE 107.3 FM Charlotte, Amalia, Virgin Islands.
Welcome to Detroit Sports Jersey Media, Sundays from 11 a.m. to noon, broadcasting live from Detroit and stretching to the heart of Central Texas, here on FM 88.1 WHPR with co-hosts Longhorn and the Jersey Girl. Straight sports talk, no professionals here. And now, here's your host that never gets it right, but is never wrong, Will Sims.
All right, welcome to Detroit Sports Jersey, February the 15th, 2016. 14, what I say, 16? 2000. Let me start this over. Welcome to Detroit Sports Jersey. Happy Valentine's Day. Longhorn, are you there? So he's an idiot. Look at him. Look, he just sitting up there looking like a big dummy. Longhorn. He's just a big idiot. We got a lot to talk about today. Yeah, are you there, Longhorn?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Come on. Man. Help is so hard to find. Man, come on. We got a lot to talk about. Let me throw out the number. 313-868-0351. 313-868-0342. Of course, last week, Longhorn, your Carolinas lost, got tapped out. You know them. What about them cats now? Meow. Meow. I told you they was going to lose.
Let's talk about them cats.
I told you they was going to lose.
What?
I told you they was going to lose.
You told me they was going to lose.
You had 5 reasons they was going to win. I said defense wins championships, offense wins games. You lost.
No. We always said this, right? Offense wins games, defense wins championships.
Ain't that what I just said?
Yeah, but I'm just letting you know that we always said that.
Okay, who won the game?
We know who won the game.
How did they win?
Defense.
Thank you. Case closed.
But you know what? I got to say something about that. People getting on Cam about the way he was. I ain't even gonna say the way he was acting. I'm gonna say the way his attitude about the end of the game. Don't get on Cam Newton about the way he was feeling and the way he was.
He acted like a baby. He acted like a baby.
No.
Yes, he did.
Let me tell you what he said. Matter of fact, you tell me what he said, and I'll tell you where it came from.
Okay, hold on. He said if you show me a good loser, I'm going to show you a loser. But he still should have stayed in that press conference, man up, and finished answering the questions the reporters was asking him. If he would have won, he wouldn't have got up and left.
Of course not. But let me tell you one thing. People act like he came up with that phrase all by himself. The great Vince Lombardi came up with that phrase. But when the great Vince Lombardi said that, nobody got on his case. Also, the great Vince Lombardi came up with the phrase, second place is first place losers. But nobody got on his case when he came up with that phrase.
First of all,
so don't get on Cam's case when he come up with the phrase, you show me a good loser and I'll show you a loser.
They ain't coming, Longhorn. They're not getting on his case about that. They're getting on his case about he act like a baby and left the press conference. And by the way, Longhorn, how many Super Bowls has Vince Lombardi won? Case closed. You cannot compare the two.
Well, I'm just telling you this. The man is keeping it real. He's honest. They knew his attitude before he came out there for the press conference. They knew how he was looking before he came out there. Now, the only reason he came out there, you know, and I know, and any sports fan knows, the only reason why he came out there is because if he hadn't came out there, he would have got fined. You know he got to come out there for the press conference or he's going to get fined, right?
But listen,
That's the only reason why he
but
came
listen
out
though,
there.
Longhorn, you can't have it both ways. You got to man up on both ends. You got to man up when you lose. You got to man up when you win. And I agree with the statement because I hate the statement people talking something. Winning ain't everything. Only losers say that. Winning is everything. You play the game to win. It's as simple as that.
But you know what? This you know what I say? I'm glad he did not come out with the old cliche of, well, you know, they had a good defense and they played a good game and yada yada yada. I'm glad he came out there with his heart on his sleeve. He came out there with honesty. He was mad. He was upset. He brought his feelings out there just like when he brings his feelings out there when they win. He comes out there with his honest, true feelings about winning. He came out there with his honest, true feelings about losing. So I have no problem with it.
You can't act like a baby. You can't act like a baby. You can't act like a baby.
Look. A true sports fan knows, you know, not no couch potato sports fan knows that, hey, football is an emotional sport. Just like when you see the guys on the sideline crying when they lose the game, you don't say, oh, that's a big baby over there crying because they lost the Super Bowl.
I do.
But here's the kicker part. Who criticizes the players when they're sitting on the sideline crying?
Me.
They're not all up in the news media.
Listen, but that's a different. See, okay, you leave your emotions and everything out there on the field. When you done went to the locker room, you done got out of your uniform, you know it's time to man up and face these reporters. You have to man up because he would have manned up if he would have won. You can't have it both ways, Longhorn. You might up here making excuses for him acting like a baby. I agree with his statement 100%. But you can't be out there walking away from the reporters when they out there doing their job. Their job is to ask you the hard questions. Their job is to get the answers, to interview you. You can't, when you lose, when you're a loser, you can't sit up there, jump up, and run away from the press. But also, you want them to praise you when you're winning. You can't have it both ways because you're not going to be winning every game you play in every situation you put in. And I'm going to be honest with that game. The body language told it all. They was ill prepared for that game, and I'm putting that on the coach. I think they took Denver for granted. I really do.
Look, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you too, and the listeners. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. They lost the game in the first quarter.
They lost the game when they took the field. They wasn't prepared.
Oh, Lord,
they was not prepared. They was not prepared for what the Denver Broncos brought to them. He had 3 turnovers himself. Did you see when he fumbled the ball in the end zone?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What about that play?
But you know what? That reminded me of the same play when I saw a game where Peyton lost the ball in the end zone. And it was a touchdown. And I said the Broncos was going to lose the game. I don't remember which game. It slips my mind. But when he lost the ball in the end zone and it was a touchdown. What I'm saying was, during the first game, when that happened, the game was over. They was playing flat-footed. They was, like you said, they wasn't prepared for defense. You know what I'm saying? It takes all 11 men on the field to be prepared. Von Miller, and I know Dallas was looking at Ware like, why do we let this guy go?
Let me tell you something.
Because Ware was killing them.
The bottom line
you know what I'm saying?
I'm putting that in the coach's lap right there. You have to prepare when you're in the playoffs, you have to prepare your team and your players for every game until you walk off that field or the court or the hockey rink, ice rink, whatever you're doing, the baseball diamond, you have to prepare your players every game. And I think they thought because they was blowing people out that they took the Denver Broncos for granted. They looked at Peyton Manning as being an old man. They thought Peyton Manning, if they could shut down Peyton Manning, they could win this game. They didn't think about the Denver defense coming up there.
But let me tell you something. Right, about that blowing people out. I look back on their past records, on their wins. They did not blow everybody out.
Well, what I'm not saying
on their record,
okay.
They did not blow everybody out. Some of those wins were close wins. They wasn't blowing people out. Everybody.
Okay.
If you look back on those close wins that they barely won the game, look at the defense. Look at the defense that they played against.
Well, let me rephrase that. You're right. Let me rephrase that. What I meant to say, how they always come out with the big league. You know, I thought they were just going to come out there, jump on Denver with a 21-point, 28-point, 30-point lead and have Denver to play catch-up. So right there they was letting me know right then and there that technically they was counting on old man Peyton Manning to beat them, and they overlooked Denver's defense. You know, I believe that was their mentality. If we jump out on Denver early like we did with Seattle, like we did with Arizona, if we jump out here early, the old man's going to have to play catch-up with us. But it flipped the script. The script was flipped.
They flipped the flip?
They flipped the script. Denver defense stepped up, did what they had to do, and shut that offense down due to the great play of Von Miller and the rest of the defense players for the Denver Broncos. Cam Newton had, like I said before, had 3 turnovers. You're not going to win no game like that. You might win it. I'm not saying ain't no games ever been won with a quarterback having 3 turnovers, but it's very rare, very rare. And when they shut your star player down, the rest seems like it's going to follow. It's like a dominoes effect. They couldn't get that offense. Look at the score. What's the final score? 24-10. The offense wasn't clicking. They shut the offense down. And I'm not saying Denver had a great offensive performance, which they didn't, by the way. It was all about the defense that won that championship. And I'm putting this once again, Ron Rivera, the head coach of Carolina Panthers, I'm putting this in his lap. He did not prepare this team, and the body language told the whole story. I didn't even feel like that was Carolina out there playing. I think, like I said, they took them boys for granted, and it showed. It showed in the numbers. It showed on the play of the field that the coach did not prepare these boys for the Super Bowl because they was taking them for granted.
All right. Who do you feel was out there playing with them?
I don't know, Jerry Seinfeld. Who the hell you think was out there playing? Well, it wasn't the Carolina Panthers. It wasn't the Carolina Panthers we've been watching all year long that ended up with 15-1. That wasn't the Carolina Panthers that played Seattle. That wasn't the Carolina Panthers that played Arizona. I'm telling you, they took the boys for granted. Look at the play on the field. Look at the body language. You know what? When you look at sports, body language can tell the whole story.
Right.
You can take it from baseball, football. You can even look at it in boxing. You could tell the body language will tell you the whole story. I could tell you though. Look, that's why when I watch a game, I've been watching football. I've been watching sports for a long time. I could tell you. During the first quarter of any game, by watching the team, I can tell you whether or not that team's going to win or lose. Just about the body language. And in the first quarter, I looked at my wife. I said, it's over. The Broncos going to win this game. It's over. Let me throw out the number, 868.
They're playing flat-footed.
Let me throw out the number, 868-0351, 868-0342. We have some open lines here. Wish all the ladies out there, especially mine, a happy Valentine's Day today. Anybody want to call in, give their woman a shout-out, you're more than welcome to do that, even if you don't know nothing about sports.
Yes, happy Valentine's Day, especially to my woman, Sunshine, and also Will. Happy Valentine's Day. Also, I understand you jumping the broom today, brother.
That's the rumors out on the street. Yeah, I'm supposed to be getting married today. I'm off the market.
You was getting married today. Congratulations.
I'm off the market.
You were never on the market.
So Ashley, So actually, it's gonna be a sad day for a lot of ladies out here.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
You know, it's gonna be a lot of tissue sold out here today, more than
So,
candy. More.
the word on the street and on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook is you getting married on Valentine's Day, so you won't forget your anniversary.
True that. True that. No, no, no. I'm getting mad because I love the person that I'm with. I'm spend the rest of my life with her. That's the reason I'm getting married. To be honest with you, you know. And those who agree with me, cool. Those who don't, I don't care. It's as simple as that. But yeah, it's a special day for a brother. And I'm, jumping off today about 4:30. So gonna have a sit down dinner afterwards.
Yeah.
Wish y'all could be here, but I know it was a last minute, put together type situation. But it was a last minute put together situation, but it's gonna be a long life of pure love and happiness. That's all that matters.
All right, brother.
That's
Y'all
all
come down here to where it's warm at for y'all honeymoon, y'all second honeymoon. Cause I'm not going up there in the hog, brother.
Well, first of all, Longhorn, we don't want you on our honeymoon. That's number one. And I don't care where we at. We don't need you on our honeymoon. I don't need no help. I don't need, so let's clear that up right there. I need no help.
I mean, you come down here, we can help you celebrate your jumping the broom.
No, actually, you know what? We're gonna have another when we come back from Hawaii in July, probably in August.
Yeah.
Probably in August or September, we're gonna have a sit down dinner for the people that couldn't make it, and for those who did, they want to come down and grab a free meal again. They more than welcome also. But it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day, man. It's a beautiful day. Though. I'm feeling happy, joyful, all that, man. It's a beautiful day up here in Detroit. I don't even care about.
You should have wore your tuxedo to the show.
No, I'm not having no tuxedo. I'm going a little something different here this today. It's gonna be a little totally something different, for a brother. I see y'all the pictures. Y'all will see what it's all about. Plus, I'm gonna, video record it also. So. It's a beautiful day, man. But anyway, what we're going to do, Longhorn, enough about patting me on my back and bragging about me. When we come back, Longhorn, if people want to join this conversation, 313-868-0351, 868-0342. I want to talk about this discussion, Longhorn. We're going to jump into some Detroit Lions where there's a certain Hall of Fame, a great receiver that don't think that Calvin Johnson is Hall of Fame material. So when we come back to get your opinion on that, we'll be back after a word from our sponsor.
Hello, Detroit Sports Jersey listeners. If you would like to be a sponsor of Detroit Sports Jersey, the email address is info@detroitsportsjersey.com. And the phone number is 313-624-7814. We air every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern on FM 88.1 WHPR with live streaming at FM 88.1 WHPR.com. Detroit Sports Jersey offers reasonable sponsorship rates. Detroit Sports Jersey is sponsored by ENO Productions /Fiverr. That's Fiverr. ENO Productions /Fiverr does video production work, and this is where Detroit Sports Jersey goes for video work week after week. Again, that's ENO Productions /Fiverr. That's Fiverr.
All right, welcome back to Detroit Sports Jersey. I'm your host, Will, up here with the Longhorn. Longhorn.
That's right.
Longhorn.
Yeah. Game time, prime time. Detroit Sports Jersey, game time. Let's get it on.
All right, Longhorn. This past week, Hall of Famer, the great, and I mean the great, Lynn Swann, said that he don't believe that Calvin Johnson is Hall of Fame material. What do you think about that, Longhorn?
Well, I did some research on my boy Lynn Swann. You know Lynn Swann, man, that's my man, all the way back from the Steel Curtain days. And I did some research. And in 9 years career, I got some fuzzy numbers for you.
Go ahead.
Lynn Swan, 336 catches. 51 touchdowns, 5,462 yards. We went to the Pro Bowl 3 times. First team All-Pro 1 time. However, he does have something that we know Kevin John does not have. He has 4 Super Bowl rings, and he was the MVP of 1 Super Bowl. And he has 4 AFC championships.
Well, Longhorn, you're missing the most important thing of those stats, right?
I know you're going to say it.
What? No.
4 Super Bowl rings.
No. See, back in his day, Longhorn, football teams was more into running than throwing.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Now,
Right.
of course, today they, throw more than they run because basically running backs, they look at running backs as a dime a dozen. There's really no, you about to, we're going to get on this guy in a little bit. You take beast mode away. There's really no dominant running back out here that takes over, the game like the Franco Harris did, the Walter Paytons did, players like
Right.
that. You know what I'm saying? So the teams back then was more into running, banging the ball up and down the field. You know what I'm saying? So of course he's not going to have those great receiver numbers that the Calvin Johnson and the rest of the players have in this era because we're in a throwing era now, Longhorn. We're not into running and banging the ball up and down the field no more. So to compare Lynn Swan numbers to Calvin Johnson is irrelevant because it was a different era. It was a different time. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So
But Lynn Swan says it's the reason why he don't think Calvin Johnson. He says unfortunately that the Megatron was on a team that never made it to the Super Bowl, never won a AFC championship. You know what I'm saying? And it takes more than just one man to do all of that. So he says his numbers are great, but not like you said, it's in a more of a thorn era. So you can't count him out for his numbers, but it's just unfortunate, like we said last time, he's just on a team that hasn't done anything, and he can't do it by himself. It takes more than one man, and he can't play offense and defense. So now you're relying on offense and defense to try to get you somewhere and make you relevant in the Hall of Fame. And like you always said, you got to have the numbers and the ring.
Exactly. Well, one of the reasons he said, that Calvin Johnson is not Hall of Fame material because he's with a dysfunctional organization, which you won't get no arguments with me from that. He's done been one of the most dominant players of his 9-year career as far as a receiver, but he has 2 postseason appearances and 0 wins.
Yep.
He done made the Pro Bowl 6 times and is a 3-time all-time all-pro, should I say. He's just been the victim of a dysfunctional organization is the problem there. And be honest with you, and I know this ain't going to come as a shock to you, but I'm going to have to agree with Lynn Swan. I don't want to see him in the Hall of Fame. I'm sorry. I don't want to see him in the Hall of Fame. It would be a disgrace that he makes it to the Hall of Fame. All of them numbers, some of them numbers are garbage numbers. Like I tell y'all before, has he done made some spectacular catches? Yes. But has those catches ended up far as any wins that counts for anything? No. When your defense out there is playing prevented defense, same way I'm going to put your quarterback in the same category. When your defense is out there and your team is down by 20 and we're in a prevent defense, of course you're going to pad your stats. Of course, at the end of the day, you're going to look, Calvin had 200 yards reception. Yeah, that's because the defense gave you 195 of those yards because you was
Yeah.
down by 20. You know, no, he do not. I'm gonna agree with Lynn Swan. 313-868-0351. If anybody want to join this conversation, 313-868-0342. I'm sorry, Longhorn, y'all. Your boy don't deserve that. Just like I know there's gonna be a time in a day where they gonna want to put Matthew in the Hall of Fame.
Oh
No,
yeah.
no, he do not deserve to be there.
You have those. You have those. They should have like the Hall of Fame where the most yards, ran, the most yards thrown, the most yards caught, the most TDs made, but no rings Hall of Fame. Now they
No.
say the most yards, but the most losing season Hall of Fame.
See, you could have the thing, a problem about it, Longhorn, you could have a great career. But I'm not looking at you as having a Hall of Fame career. There's a difference. Like there's a difference between a job and a career. You went out there and done your job as a receiver. But I don't look at you as having a Hall of Fame career.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's I know people think I'm hard on when it comes to putting people in the Hall of Fame, whether it's baseball, basketball, football, or whatever. But if you don't have the numbers and the ring and the championship, it means nothing to me. Ask Reggie White, the late Reggie White. He said that when he went to Green Bay, he went up to Bubba Smith and said, he said, I'm going to catch your, he said, I'm going to catch your NFL sack record. I'm going to beat that. Bubba Smith put his hands out and said, look at my.
What did he say? Show me this.
Yeah. Bubba Smith says, look at my fingers. What do you see on there? Reggie White said nothing. He said exactly. Because people ain't going to remember you for that. They're going to remember you for how many rings and championships you won. And Reggie White went out there and got him one with Green Bay. He knew he couldn't get one in Philly. They was bums. He knew he couldn't get one with the Eagles. He got on with his game and went and got him a ring. And that's what I try to teach. See, Reggie White, me and Reggie White, we get it. It don't mean nothing without the ring. Nothing. You're padding your stats. It means nothing. Point blank. And I don't know how many times I have to say this. It means nothing, Longhorn. So you like the numbers.
It
You
only
like
means
numbers.
something if you want to be traded to a better team.
See, you in finance. You like numbers.
Right? It only means something if you want to be traded to a better team. That's all it means. I mean, because you got to rely on the other 10 men on your squad to get you to the big game. You cannot do it by yourself. So if the other 10 men aren't pulling their weight, then there you go. You out there just like Barry Sanders. We saw him running 300 yard, well not 300, I said 200-yard game. But most of those yards, if you take the real yards from him, he actually ran a 400-yard game, but most of those yards was going east to west, trying to avoid getting hit because the offense was just giving it up to the defense coming after him. So same thing with Barry Sanders. Even though Michael Irvin said Barry Sanders and Kevin Johnson wasted their career playing with the Lions.
Oh no, we're gonna get off into that, Longhorn. We're gonna take a commercial break. Actually, I'm trying to pull that up right now. And you know what? He's right about that. He's right about that.
But he's not gonna make it into a Hall of Fame. I mean, if he does, I mean, like you know, and I know, they got people in the Hall of Fame, players in the Hall of Fame now with no ring and just for stacks of numbers. But individuals, it takes more than just one individual to win championships.
No doubt about this.
And unfortunately, hey.
Before we go to a commercial break, Longhorn, since we're speaking of Hall of Fame player, let me ask you about this player, Beast Mode. 9 seasons in the NFL, over 9,000 yards rushing, almost 2,000 miles, 2,000 yards reception, 33 touchdowns, 5 Pro Bowls, and a Super Bowl champ. Do he belong in the Hall of Fame?
Oh yeah, I'll put him in the Hall of Fame. I'll put him in the Hall of Fame. Because I know if he don't get in the Hall of Fame, you'll probably be down there protesting with your picket sign, since that's your boy. Put Beast Mode in.
Well,
I know you want him in the Hall of Fame, so don't say. I know you want him in the Hall of Fame, right?
oh, no doubt he belongs there.
I know, and he has a ring and he has the yardage. So yes, Beast Mode needs to be. Yeah, put him in the Hall of Fame.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, I want to talk about one of your greatest players that's in the Hall of Fame, what he said about the Detroit Lions organization running Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson into retirement. Join the
Running.
conversation. Join the conversation, 313-868-0351, 313-868-0342. We'll be back after a word from our sponsor.
Hello, Detroit Sports Jersey listeners. If you would like to be a sponsor of Detroit Sports Jersey, the email address is info@detroitsportsjersey.com. And the phone number is 313-624-7814. We air every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern on FM 88.1 WHPR with live streaming at FM 88.1WHPR.com. Detroit Sports Jersey offers reasonable sponsorship rates. Detroit Sports Jersey is sponsored by ENO Productions /Fiverr. That's Fiverr. ENO Productions /Fiverr does video production work, and this is where Detroit Sports Jersey goes for video work week after week. Again, that's ENO Productions /Fiverr. That's Fiverr.
All right, welcome back to Detroit Sports Jersey Media. I'm your host, Will. Got the Longhorn. Check it out, 313-868-0351, 313-868-0342. Longhorn, what do you think about Michael Irvin, the great receiver for the Dallas Cowboys? By the way, with 3 Super Bowl rings before you start on his career. He's saying that the Detroit Lions ran Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson into retirement because they're a sorry organization. Okay, I might put that in last part on myself. But what do you but what do you think about that? I think it's 100% true.
Oh man, what do you mean before I start on his career, you gonna throw the fact that he got 3 Super Bowl rings?
So when we talked about this before, you try to attack his personal life, and I'm keeping everything.
I'm not going to attack his personal life.
I'm keeping everything on the field.
Everybody goes, hey, I'm not going to say anything about his personal life. Number 88, he was doing his thing when he was out here with Dallas. He was making incredible catches. He has incredible yards, acrobatic catches, the best hands in the league when he was playing.
Longhorn, let me read. Longhorn, let me read exactly what he said. Right. He said,
I'm listening.
He said, it blows my mind that 2 of the greatest to have ever played our game played in Detroit and walked away when they still had stuff in them. That must be such a tough thing to wake up every day and go to work in Detroit, look at what's around you, and then doing what they're doing and not winning football game. It must be a tough thing. I would think it would only happen in Cleveland, but I see it happening in Detroit.
But
Huh?
Which, hey,
I
don't think it's just Detroit, man. I think it's a lot of teams in the NFL.
I wish Calvin would take a little time. We haven't even played the Super Bowl yet. This was obviously before the Super Bowl game that he made this statement.
Right.
And what happens is at the end of the season, you'll have a long season. You heard everyone write and talk about how you're not the same guy. Your body is hurting. And these guys are talking about taking some of your money away and reducing your salary. You make an emotional decision. Excuse me. And I think, like I told y'all, once again, I'm not giving Detroit no hometown discount. You ain't taking nothing from me. You can cut me, let me go. You're not forcing me into retirement. You're not forcing me into retirement because you have a janky organization that don't know how to win, and y'all got that loser mentality. Okay, Longhorn, we tired of seeing you cheese and smile like you Jimmy Carter. Can you say something?
You think they forcing him in retirement?
I don't think they're forcing him in retirement, but I don't think they're helping by talking about taking money away from him to stay. Like I was told, I don't understand why he won't just ask to be released and go play somewhere else. I don't understand that. If you still got some game left up in you, which I believe he do,
Okay.
release me. I'm not. I
So
told you before. I'm not giving you no hometown discount when this organization is trash bums. Y'all don't know how to win here. You never had a back-to-back 10-game winning season ever in the franchise history. Have y'all ever won 10 games back-to-back? And you sitting up here asking me for a hometown discount? Me? The great Calvin Johnson? No. And by the way, your quarterback will be exposed once I leave. Take it away, Longhorn.
So why do you think he will not ask to be released to go play someplace else?
I don't know.
The R word at the lines and not saying, look, just release me.
That's what I'm shocked by. That's what I can't wrap my mind around that. I tell you, look, I'll give you a perfect example. With Matt Forte, the running back in Chicago. They released him. He's still going to play more elsewhere. He gave 8 great years to Chicago. Matter of fact, second in rushing only behind Walter Payton. So
right.
He's not giving up his career. He's not quitting. He's not quitting. Right. Matter of fact, Patriots and other teams are looking at him already. You know, Chicago didn't want to pay him. They always excuse me, sorry about that. They always put the franchise tag on him. That game done ran out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, just like Matt Forte of Chicago with Calvin, I'll say, see you later. I'm packing my bags. It's been real. Deuces, baby. I'm up out of here. I'm not the problem. I'm not the problem. Your decision making of running this team is the problem. I'm not your problem.
Well, all I can say is, hey, Michael Irvin is, his words may hit hard to some people, but he's correct. They wasted their time here, and matter of fact, Barry Sanders, he could have moved on if he wanted to.
Oh, I got so pissed off of him when he signed that contract. I wouldn't have stayed here. Stay here for what? Your organization sucks. Hell, every 2-3 years we got a new head coach.
And that's the problem. That's the problem. That's the problem. How I see it. You just can't keep flipping coaches because you're never gonna have a jail team that's gonna mesh together. You flip coaches, you flip assistant coaches, you flip them playbooks. Then you're bringing in new players. You never have a team that's gonna be consistent. How are you gonna win with teams that's not going to be with
well, see, the problem is y'all got the same cliche and motto every year. Wait till next year. Wait till next year. Y'all been screaming that same garbage since '57. And the fans are so.
But we can't wait till next year with different players, different coaches, a different scheme, different offensive scheme, different defensive scheme. You can't wait till next year.
But the fans still go down there. The fans still go down there and support that garbage. How the hell you going to have a sellout of every game in the year you 0-16? How the hell you selling out games? Because the fans here are used to that loser mentality. That's their problem.
Faith, brother, faith.
Oh,
you got to have faith.
You've been having faith since '57.
You got to have faith.
Man, get the hell out of here with that. Ain't no such thing since '57. Come on.
Hey.
You weren't even thought of in '57. Neither was I.
Hey, when 1965, I was born. So in 1966, you was born. So we've been having faith since then. Call in, listeners at 313-868-0345. 5-1 if you got faith that the Lions are going to do it sooner or later.
Man, please get up out of here with that.
More
Let's
sooner
switch
or later.
gears.
We'd
Let's
like
switch
to
gears.
welcome all the listeners from WVIE.
Listen, Longhorn, let's switch gears here. Did you watch that slam dunk contest last night?
Oh man, it was a slammer jammer slam dunk contest. At first it was a little bit sleepy, you know. At first it was like, yeah, you know. And Drummond shouldn't even have been there, brother.
He tried.
He shouldn't have been there. I don't know if you saw the highlight.
No, I saw it. I saw everything. That's why I was able to pull it up on my tablet. But yeah, I saw. He tried. Him and he with Steve Nash. He had one good play, one good dunk.
Hey, he shouldn't have been there. He didn't have no good dunk, man. He should not have been there.
Whoa. That one they ran with Steve Nash. You know, he's a former soccer player now. He kicked the ball off the back of his foot like soccer player. Drummond grabbed it and done it. That was all right. Now,
anybody could have done that.
Oh, anybody. Now anybody can do that.
Anybody.
Listen, that was the best.
Let me tell you.
Listen, that was the best. Listen, that was the best dunk contest since Michael Jordan and Dominique Wilkins. That was the
best dunk contest. But I tell you, when Gordon, when he did the dunk, he had two spectacular dunks, hell of a dunks. When he came out there with the mascot, and the mascot was on a little hoverboard thing, he was spinning around.
Yes.
And my man timed it perfect and cupped it with one hand turned around backwards and wasn't looking at the board, put his hand behind his head and slammed the jammer. Oh, that was awesome. But then the best one was when he picked it up off the dang mascot head and was in a seated position and put it on both legs while he was seated in the mid-air and dunked it. That was it.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt about that, man. That wasn't, like I said, that was the best dunk contest.
Man, they was going 50 to 50 heads up. And then old Levine, when he came up from the free throw, but I tell you though, that was a good dunk contest right there. I'm looking forward to the next one next year in Charlotte.
Yeah, they actually because the dunk contest been dead after all these years. They actually done brought some life back to it with last night. There was some amazing dunks last night.
And that dude who called himself the Thrill.
Hey, but check this out though. We got the 65th NBA All-Star game tonight. You watching it?
Man, I ain't gonna watch the All-Star game, man. That ain't nothing but an offensive showboat and show and go game, man. Nobody wants to really. We know nobody plays defense in that game. You know what that reminds me of?
What's that?
That reminds me of watching a Harlem Globetrotter game.
All right. Hey, well, check this out, Longhorn. We're gonna take a quick commercial break. When we come back, I want you to give you Black History moments. And
that's right, Black History Month.
And we'll let you to run them down for the people and stuff. Let them know what's going on. You got 5 interesting top Black History moments.
Outstanding.
All right, we'll be back after a word from my sponsor.
Hello, Detroit Sports Jersey listeners. If you would like to be a sponsor of Detroit Sports Jersey, the email address is info@detroitsportsjersey.com. And the phone number is 313-624-7814. We air every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern on FM 88.1 WHPR with live streaming at FM 88.1WHPR.com. Detroit Sports Jersey offers reasonable sponsorship rates. Detroit Sports Jersey is sponsored by ENO Productions/Fiverr. That's Fiverr. ENO Productions/Fiverr does video production work, and this is where Detroit Sports Jersey goes for video work week after week. Again, that's ENO Productions/Fiverr. That's Fiverr.
All right, welcome back to Detroit Sports Jersey Media. I'm your host, Will, with the Longhorn. What time is it, Longhorn?
Game time, prime time. Detroit Sports Jersey Media time. Let's get it on with some Black History Month.
All right, shoot it out there to the people. Go ahead, Longhorn.
All right. Did you know that in 1819, the record player arm was invented by Joseph H. Dickerson, record player arms. You couldn't get your groove on. Getting jiggy with it unless he invented the record player arm. All right. Also, in 1864, the rolling pin. The rolling pin was invented by John L. Love. No, I'm sorry. John W. Reed invented the rolling pin. Able to roll out them biscuits. Also, if you want to know who invented the stethoscope,
First of all, you got to learn how to pronounce it.
Your heartbeat.
First of all, you got to learn how to pronounce it.
Stethoscope. There you go.
Yeah.
In 1876, by Thomas A. Carterton, he invented the stethoscope. And everybody knows Madam C.J. Walker in 1905 invented the straightening comb. Madam C.J. Walker invented the straightening comb. All right. And also the traffic light. Everybody run their traffic lights. Let's say you run a traffic light, talking about all officers here was yellow. When you know it was red, you can thank Garrett Morgan in 1923. He invented the traffic light. So next time, Will, you run a traffic light and the cop pulls you over, say, hey, man, Garrett Morgan told me that it was green.
All right, check this out. You a clown and a fool and stupid all at the same time.
Hey, look, before we get continue, I want to give a shout out to Jersey girl's daughter, Heather. She's competing in a gymnastic competition, all right, at American Gym for Cereal City Classic in Battle Creek. Shout out for her. That's why she's not on the show today. Her daughter's competing in a gymnastic competition. We wish her all the luck in the world.
Oh, yeah, she texted me last night about that, yeah.
Yeah, go out there and making great things happen.
Hey,
go ahead, Heather. Make it do what it do.
Hey, Longhorn, let's go back to the Super Bowl thing for a minute. Here goes some facts you should know, right? You know they got a jock tax, right, out there in California. Cam Newton actually had to pay to play in that game. Which a lot of players did too. They got a jock tax out there. It actually cost him $137,000 to play in that Super Bowl game.
Oh, that's chump change.
Yeah, because he's making $20 million this year. But the state of California in 2013 collected over $200 million from athletes from just playing. See, if you're not a resident of that state, you must pay to play in that state.
Oh yeah.
That sounds like the mob to me. That sounds like the mob.
Oh yeah. Matter of fact, that was one of the incentives that we got the people come to play here in Dallas.
Oh, y'all got that jock tax.
There's no tax down here in Dallas.
Oh, y'all don't have that jock. Y'all don't have that jock tax.
No, we don't have the jock tax down here in Dallas. Not in Texas, brother.
Yeah, they're talking. I know was next year the Super Bowl supposed to be in Arizona. They're talking about they're gonna be collecting like 13% of the player's salary. You know, so you actually winning the Super Bowl. You're not winning because you know they get a check along with that. So basically, you turning that check over to the state. And I don't even think I think they would make the winner get like $50,000 and the losers get $25,000. So you still in the red or black, however the hell you want to look at it. You know, let's say Cam Newton, he got the $25,000 for losing. So I still owe them $112,000 to play in the Super Bowl. You know, to pay to play, man, is expensive. You ready for the big dummies, Longhorn?
Yeah. Oh man, I got a big dummy right up there in Detroit.
For real?
Yeah, speaking of traffic.
Hold on, fool.
Yeah, let's cue up that music. Big dummy, big dummy, big dummy, big dummy, big dummy, big.
Go ahead, Longhorn. What you got for your big dummy?
All right, my big dummy. There's a county clerk up there. Dig this. Her and her friend was forging a judge's signature and getting tickets dismissed up there for about $10,000 in bribes. She was forging this judge's signature and getting tickets dismissed, and now she got caught for bribery and getting ready to do some time in jail. What a big dummy.
Hey,
That's my big dummy.
But shouldn't the people, you got $10,000 to bribe somebody to pay some tickets, don't you just go and pay the damn tickets off? That should have been a red. That should have been a red flag right there.
That's what I'm talking about.
You know, you got 10 G's. I mean, what kind of tickets are you getting out here?
No, I don't think she was getting like $10,000 for one person. That's the amount of money she was collecting from different, in total and bribes.
Oh, okay.
But still, she got to go to jail.
Big dummy. All right, here goes my big dummy for the week. The whole team, the Carolina Panthers team, for taking the Denver Broncos for granted, not being prepared to play in the Super Bowl. Like I said, the body language spoke volumes for that. They was ill prepared for that game. And and I'm not making no excuses on why they lost. I mean, Denver had their number when it came to the defense. They had their number. So my big dummy is, actually, I ain't going to say the whole Carolina team. I'm just going to say the head coaches. I'm just going to put it all on the coaches, set it in their laps. That's my big dummy for the week. Big dummy, big dummy, big dummy. All right, Longhorn, what else you got for the people?
Yeah, I was gonna touch again on that All-Star game. So you gonna watch the All-Star game, brother?
Yep. I'm probably gonna watch the fourth quarter. I ain't gonna watch the whole game. Fourth quarter.
So what's so special about the fourth quarter that's not interesting? What's so special about that fourth quarter? I want to know.
Let me break down the whole NBA for you. Number one, the NBA is the only game you can watch where you can miss the first 2 to 3 quarters because they ain't playing hard. They're not playing hard. NBA players don't play hard until the fourth quarter. Just look at any game. Look at any game. You watch just any simple game. They ain't playing hard. You know, you might see a few sweet plays, dunks and this and running them. They ain't playing as hard as they do in the fourth quarter. Just one day, just sit back and pay attention. You know, that's why you can that sport right there. You can get away with missing it. You know, they ain't playing hard. They ain't. They fooling you people. They taking your money. Fooling. Some of these teams
taking your money.
Yeah, some of these teams out here tanking so they can get a. Look at Sacramento. Look at them. They're in 5th place in the playoff season, in the playoff race. They tanking so they can have a number 1 pick getting the lottery. I think they're in like number 8th or 9th. I don't think they're in number 8 spot. I think they're 9th or 10th right now. How the hell you go from being number 5 to you down to number 9 or 10? They tanking. They taking it. Come on, man. NBA, man, that right there, that organization should be brought up on fraud charges for taking people money. Charge them.
Yeah, but see, I'm talking about the All-Star game.
I'm talking about
the All-Star game is nothing but showboat. There's no defense in the game. Yeah. So you're going to look at a game where the score is going to probably be 150-something to 130-something.
Yeah, but that's exactly. But see, that's why I say I'll check out the fourth quarter. I'm not going to sit there and waste all my time watching that, you know. It don't, you know, it's like the NFL Pro Bowl. It don't interest me no more. You know, for real. You know, the Pro Bowl, NFL Pro Bowl, who watches that? Nobody. But the family.
That's why I say it's like watching Harlem Globetrotters play.
Family and friends. That's it. Ain't nobody interested. Nobody care about that. Why you think they changed the Pro Bowl before the Super Bowl? Remember, the Pro Bowl used to be after the Super Bowl. Now they play the game before the Super Bowl. Cause ain't nobody watching that. There ain't nobody watching
That's
that.
Right. That's right. They say family and friends.
That's it, brother. That's it. You know, we got a few minutes here, Longhorn. What else you got?
March Madness.
March Madness about to jump off. Oh, yeah. I'm ready for that.
Got your brackets together, Will?
No, not yet. But, of course, you know who I'm going for to win it all.
Okay. Let's put this on record. Who's going to win it all, Will? We got to get this on.
North Carolina. You know I'm a North Carolina fan. Come on now. Everybody know I'm a Tar Heels fan. Everybody know I'm a Tar Heels fan. Come on.
Listeners in the Virgin Islands, I want to put this on record. He said North Carolina's going to win it all.
You know who I
Because we
want to
know
win?
once they knocked out, he's going to switch to another team, and they're going to win it all.
I want North Carolina to win it off. If they can't win it all, I wouldn't mind Michigan or Michigan State win it. Boom, simple as that.
There you go. We got to get the second and third and fourth and 15s in there.
Go on and give your last word before we get up out of here, stupid.
I would say game time, prime time. Detroit Sports Jersey Media time. And stay focused on your dream. All right? Never say never.
Cool.
And also, anybody tell you something's impossible, just remember, the word possible is in the word impossible.
All right, that's Brother Malcolm there, but we'd like to thank the people in the Virgin Islands for listening, people here on TV 33 for watching and listening. We here live every Sunday. Me, Longhorn, the Jersey Girl. Good luck to your daughter today, Jersey Girl. We'll be back next Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We up out of here. See you when we see you.
Thank you, listeners from Detroit to Central Texas, for joining us here live on Detroit Sports Jersey Media with your host, Will Sims, and co-host, Longhorn and the Jersey Girl, every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern, right here on FM 88.1 WHPR. Visit us at DetroitSportsJersey.com. Straight sports talk. No professionals here. Have a great week.